Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and it is day 21 of our Scrappy Advent Calendar. And today I have a outside of the page protector project for us. We've finished our 20 days of Christmas cut files, so there's no more cut files for the rest of the month. And so I am doing this really large Santa photo of Jess's family, her extended family on her husband's side. They get a Santa photo every year, which is so cute. And so what I did off camera is I worked out the size of the photo and then I took some white cardstock, just normal white cardstock, 12 by 12 cardstock. I cut it down to be the height of the photo and then the width of the photo plus, I think it's actually 12 by 12 width. And then I put 2 score marks in. Now, I can't tell you exactly where I scored because unfortunately I didn't write the measurements down, and I have given this to Jess already and I'm doing the voiceover after giving it to her. But essentially, as you can sort of see here, I'm cutting it at 3 inches, so I've clearly scored it at 3 inches. And so what I did though to work that out is I measured my photo, and I wanted to make sure that I was only cutting the photo once, and I've cut it because it's glossy photo, and I thought that by bending it, it would crease too much and crack the photo anyway. So I just cut it. So hopefully Jess doesn't mind. She has more copies of this photo, but it's also, it's one of the photos when you go to Santa's that they print out for you. She doesn't have a digital copy. I did ask her first. She said she didn't mind. And her boys are actually on the opposite side. Anyway, so I worked out that I could cut the photo in between 2 of the children, so I wasn't cutting anybody's faces off. I scored the white cardstock underneath, and then I cut up some patterned paper that I could put in the scored sections, if that makes sense, because I didn't want it to be white cardstock. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm adding up, of course, my ATG gun has run out of tape. It wouldn't be a video of mine, honestly, if the ATG gun didn't run out of tape. It shows you how much scrapping I do. Sorry, I'm also going to have a sip of my tea while I'm doing this voiceover. I've got a big, long list of things to do today. It's a Thursday when I'm doing this voiceover, and we're already in December. I can't remember the exact date, maybe the 8th or something. So I have to film my opening video that goes up tomorrow. I think I need to double check. I can't remember. But anyway, I've just got a long list of things to do, and my baby is currently asleep. So I have to make the most of that time and get things organised. Thankfully, I've wrapped all the Christmas presents. I've only got a few more presents to buy. And so I'm feeling a little bit stressed, but also mostly organised, if that makes sense. And I had forgotten I hadn't done this voiceover. I went to clear some space off my phone and I realised that I hadn't done this voiceover. So I thought, let's do that now while Addison's asleep. I can upload it. It's my last December Scrappy Advent Calendar video. Anyway, so as I said, I have put my pattern paper on the flappy parts, the folding parts of this layout, and I'm punching the holes through, and I used a kind of existing template for that. And I've got a single hole punch that I use to punch my holes. I'm just obviously changing over my ATG tape. I think I said it in one of my earlier December videos, but I don't find changing ATG tape very hard at all. I know this overwhelms a lot of people, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. So don't let the tape and having to refill it all the time put you off getting one, because honestly, the more you use it, the easier it is. I mean, you saw that it really didn't take long to change over, and I do find it really easy. Now, I added a little bit of extra pattern paper on the right hand side here because my photo doesn't completely cover that section. So I'm pretty sure it's scored at 3 inches on each end, and so the middle section is 6 inches, because I'm almost positive that this is 12 by 12 in length. And so the photo itself, I'd say then, is maybe 8. No, it must be 10 inches. Look at that. 3. That doesn't make sense, does it? No, it must be 8. Must be, I don't know. I don't work in inches, people. I work in centimetres. So I'm guessing. I'm just guessing. But I'm guessing it's an 8 by 6. 6x8. Must be a 6x8 printed out photo. Now I did leave a little gap between the cut photo there. You can sort of see it. So it is a bit obvious, like I have left that little slit, but I needed to do that so that it would fold nicely. And I still think it was the best thing to do. So you can see me testing it out in Jess's album here. And I'm just kind of trialing it to see that it will work. It's going here in the album. And I wanted to make sure it would open fine, so you didn't have to take it out of the album to open it. So it opens perfectly fine. So that's great. And so now I'm happy with it. I'm happy with how it's opening. And I'll just do a small amount of embellishing and then figure it out. I was kind of hoping that you could see both of her boys with the right-hand side open, because I had contemplated removing that flap. And you can see there she's got 2 more copies of the photo that I could have used, but I went with the big one because where else is she going to use that? And then she can keep the smaller 2 for her to use somewhere else if she wants. I know she's got a little album, I'm pretty sure, that she keeps of all the Santa photos over the years, which is super cute. So I've got to get her journaling organised, so I'm just cutting up the journaling for this story. I don't remember what story number it is, but I think I do add the number, so we should see that in the video. Might be like 17 or something. Oh, excuse me, I've got a dry throat. So I'm just going through the ephemera because I do want to add a little bit, and I've got a fair bit of blank canvas here to add some ephemera to. I don't go overboard though, I just add a couple of pieces. And I do want to add the Santa because, you know, it's a Santa photo. When else am I going to be able to add a picture of Santa and have it make sense? So I'm definitely going to add that Santa. And I pulled out a couple more pieces of ephemera to add as well. I kind of wanted to use that car just because, but I don't. I don't think I do anyway. I don't know what else to tell you. Sorry, I have not done a voiceover for quite some time, and honestly, when you don't do them for, you know, a couple of weeks, you lose your knack. It's definitely not coming as easily as it should. I am tired. I will say that I am tired. Now, I did trim a tiny little bit off this. The reason why is because it wasn't closing super like smooth, flat. It wasn't closing flat, if that makes sense. The flaps were overlapping just a tiny bit. And so I wanted to snip a little bit off so that it would open easier. And then I also want to add a little tab so that Jess has something to hold on to when she's opening the window, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm doing here. I found a little banner piece, and so I'm just sticking it down onto some pattern paper so that when I add it to the flap, you can see it's not white on one side, if that makes sense, because you will see both sides. So that's all I'm doing here. I'm just sticking it down onto some pattern paper and then just fussy cutting around it. And then I'm going to add that flap so that I'm going to add it to this side, the inside, and then I'm going to cover the piece that hangs over with some ephemera and kind of make that, I guess, where I'm going to anchor my ephemera cluster. And I'm not going to put any foam or anything on this side because I do want it to lay flat. So everything's going to be stuck down flat onto the layout. So you can see. That's what I'm doing here. Sticking down this Santa because, as I said, got to use the Santas. Got to get them onto the page. I'm just making sure I don't cover the hole for the rings. And then I'm adding that little word sentiment. Unfortunately, I can't tell you what it says. You'll be able to see. I can't because it's too small on my phone, quite frankly. And then I'm going to use this Santa here, which I thought he was super cute. And I'm going to have him overlap a fair bit and sort of, I guess, become part of the turning mechanism as well, just because I thought that was cute. So he's there, and I think I add another little word strip, maybe. Puffy stickers, I don't know. I'm going through all of the stickers that I have. I think I'm trying to find the ones that might relate to Santa and presents, maybe. Although I've done a few Santa photos in this album. She's told a lot of stories about Santa visits, so I may have used most of them already, but I'm adding a couple of word strips there, and I'm pretty sure I do add a puffy sticker. I think. Let's see. Pretty sure I don't think there's a Santa, because I think I've used that already. But I think I do add a puffy sticker. No? Do I add some enamel dots? There you go. I'm adding some enamel dots. Oh, this is as much a surprise for me as it is for you. Honestly, I made this, weeks ago. And it's already wrapped and has been given to Jess at the time of me doing this voiceover. And so I'm not looking at it in front of me. So I'm kind of having to go, what did I do again? Trying to remember. Now I'm trying to add something that can hold the number. And so I decided to pull out one of these really small little doilies, actually from Stamping Up. Like you sort of saw me there. I was showing you where the number was going to go. I don't think I do put it on in this video now that I've said that, but you will see it in the photos. And so I'm just having a little space there. And then I decide, don't throw out this little bit of doily. Let's just add it to the back. So I do. I'm adding it to the inside flap, just, waist not, want not. So I'm adding that in under the little Santa and the little word strip there, so you can't tell that it's only a tiny piece of a doily. And then I will add the number. I do consider putting something on the back, although technically when it goes into the album, that is the first thing that you will see before you turn the page. So I will let Jess know that if she wants to, she can put something on there. I didn't. I don't believe I did. But Jess might like to add some form of decoration. We'll see. We'll see. I'll let her know. She probably won't either because my plan is to give her... I hope she doesn't listen to this. My plan is to give her the completed album for Christmas. Don't listen to this, Jess. If you were just listening, make sure you should turn off now. Turn off. Stop listening. But yeah, my plan is we don't do our Christmas present necessarily on the day for each other because we've done this Advent calendar. That is our Christmas present to each other. And sometimes I remember to do a day 25 gift, but most of the time I don't. And this year I forgot. So I haven't wrapped a day 25 gift for her. So I think what I'm going to do is try and finish her album and wrap it up and give it to her. That's the plan anyway. So you can see here the close-ups. You can see I did add the number there on the front. Oh, day 12. There you go. I was wrong. It wasn't day 17. Story number 12. So here is my close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Bye.